Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck, the delicious mobile coffee truck that brings you the caffeination inspiration you need. We deliver signature coffee products like our Nitro Cold Brew and Caramel Frappe to any occasion or festivity. And for those who don't like coffee, we offer a variety of delicious hot chocolates, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. That's Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck. All right, welcome back to another edition of the Goblay Show. I'm your host, Billy, and today I've got a special guest. I've known her for, almost 20 years.
Yeah, it's been about that long.
It's been a long time, huh? And she is now the CEO, I will say CEO, and founder of Cooking with Character. A great friend of mine, her name is Celia Wayne. Celia, welcome to the show.
Billy, thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure and honor to be here.
Well, it is my pleasure and honor to have you on here. I know we've been talking for a while to get this thing set up, and I don't know. I'm just glad it's here.
It is finally happening. It's taken us long enough, but we are here.
Yes. So you found the place okay?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I live way on the other side of basically Florida at this point.
Right.
So it took a while to get here, but it was no problem. It just, I love it out here. It reminds me of home since I grew up in Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's peaceful here.
Yes.
And quiet, except for the birds, which is fine.
Yeah, the birds.
The cranes.
The cranes and birds. And we have a train that'll go by probably on cue, precisely at probably noon.
There we go.
You can almost set your clock to it.
I kind of love that, though.
Well, when we moved here, the first night, it was like,
What is that?
because where my parents live, when people come over from Orlando, they're like, they come outside. Where's the street lights at? I'm like, there are no street lights here.
We don't have street lights here. We have a bonfire in the backyard. Just put your headlights on in the car. You'll see fine.
Absolutely. Hopefully the car battery does not die.
Right. You hope and pray.
Right. So we didn't have the train. So hearing that for the first time now, it's almost soothing. It's almost like
it's a norm now.
Yeah, it's like your ceiling fan with a little white noise.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about yourself before we get to how you got here to Florida. Tell us where you came from and all that good stuff.
All right. Well, many, many years ago, back in the Stone Age. No, I'm just kidding. I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And
Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
You already know where that's from.
Yep. This is why we're friends. But I was born and raised in Wisconsin. I'm an only child.
Okay.
And my mom was a seamstress growing up. My father was a police officer for the city.
Gotcha.
And I had a great childhood, but I always wanted to not stay in Wisconsin. I wanted to get out. I had bigger dreams and hopes and all that jazz. And I was like, I don't think I can do that here.
Right.
I love my family very much, but I gotta branch out.
Right.
So I grew up loving the whole Disney world and all that and magic and everything. So I went, I think Florida is where I need to be. So, but that's where I grew up, and I had a really great childhood and a million friends over all the time. Ran my big wheel into the pool once. That was really fun. I was an adventurous child.
I bet.
Yes.
You did your own stunts.
I was my own stunt woman.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, my parents were thrilled about that one. Oh, it was great.
They're like, we better get insurance on this kid.
Pretty much.
Better up the insurance.
I was the kid that had scabby knees all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That was me.
Road rage, fresh road rage.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry, road rash.
Road rash, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I was angry on my big wheel at age 4.
Yeah. Well, that brings out the anger in all of us. I mean,
this is true.
You get behind a slow, red wagon.
I know.
You got no chance but to go around them.
That radio flyer's got to get out of here. Bye.
Yeah, bye. So, a funny thing about Milwaukee, I've actually never been there. So
really?
I've never been.
It's a great city.
But everybody says how great it is.
It is.
But I was watching. Do you remember? I'm a totally like an '80s sitcom guy. Like I love all the old sitcoms. But one of my favorites is Night Court.
Oh God!
Love
And
Night
now they've
Court.
got the new Night Court too.
Yes.
Yep.
Which shout out to Tony Robinette, who was on Night Court as a flasher. I couldn't have picked a better
Right.
job for him. I'm just kidding, Tony. I miss you. But it's great to see. Isn't it funny how you see somebody on TV that you know and you're like, like the commercial with Sterling.
Yes.
That's how
I saw Sterling and Nina on it. I was like, I know that.
Yeah. I'm like, what is going on? He's a construction dancer.
Yep. It's always great to see your friends doing something fun like that.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I bet
good
that was
for
a blast,
them.
too.
Oh, it
Yeah.
had to be. Absolutely.
But the Night Court thing was they said something about I guess the guy was from Russia, and he said, "Well, how bad could it be in Russian?" He says, "Imagine driving through Milwaukee for hours and hours and hours, and you wake up and you're still in Milwaukee." And Bull goes, "Ah!" But that's all I know about Milwaukee besides the Brewers being there.
I was going to say, hey, it's a great town.
Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
And Happy Days and stuff,
Happy
too.
Days,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, what were the Cunninghams? That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, great stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Milwaukee's a great town. It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got its sketch sides of town, just like any big city.
Yeah.
But there, I swear, there's of course, a tavern on every corner.
Yeah.
And the breweries and stuff there are great, and always fun going to a brewer game. I mean, those are the best.
Yeah, I've heard. I just interviewed my two guys from Pittsburgh, Michael McHenry and Greg Brown, and I asked them both, and what city was their favorite. And I think it was Greg that said he liked Milwaukee. It was really cool.
Oh, I believe that.
I don't know if he said anything about the ballpark, but
It's a cool ballpark. Like, I like the retractable dome on it.
Yeah.
And the sausage race. Everyone goes, what the heck is the sausage race? And I'm like, well, you got a bratwurst and a Polish sausage and a hot dog that run around.
in Pittsburgh it's a pierogi race.
That's right.
So they have different pierogies like jalapeno,
That's crazy.
cheddar, and I'm like,
We started it.
the first time I was seeing it, I'm like, what is going on?
You go, what in the Sam Hill?
What is that? A quesadilla running around out there?
You go, no, it's a pierogi. Okay.
And I didn't have a pierogi until I went to Pittsburgh, so it made sense. But did you ever see that video of it was the Brewer Stadium where it collapsed? And I can't remember what actually happened, but it was like they had a big beam fell or something like that. Nobody. I mean, I don't think anybody got hurt.
I think so, because wasn't it when they were building Miller Park at the time?
It was.
Because I was still there. I remember that because the huge crane just went boom.
That's probably what it was. It was a crane. I'm thinking it was something that had on, like it was picking up something, but I think it was a crane. And that was
from what I remember, that was wild.
That was crazy. But
it's like, well, we're delayed more now.
You never. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Now we got to get a crane out of the middle of the stadium.
Get a crane to get the crane out.
The crane's on the mound, and the mound's I don't know. The crane. I don't know.
Bases are semi-loaded here.
I don't know. Let's go get a brat and a beer. Let's go.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
So you moved down to Florida, and a lot of people that I know have done the same thing. My parents included.
Oh yeah, we're all transplants here.
Oh yeah,
We all are.
transplants. I can say I'm a Floridian, but but I don't. Where
You kind of are.
Where I live or where I was born is in Leesburg.
That's right.
And so a lot of people. And my phone is ringing. Sorry about that.
It's okay. You got background music.
Yeah, that's my Sanford and Son ringtone. I told you I'm a sucker for the nostalgia.
I love that.
But coming down like everybody else did was, you came down to the parks and stuff like to visit for vacation and stuff
yes.
like that, right?
My first time ever in Florida, I was, according to my mom, because I don't remember, I was 17 months old. So I was very small, but we used to vacation here at least once a year.
Oh, cool.
Yep, my dad always said he had to come here to get his sanity back from his job.
I don't know about you, but if he had to drive from Milwaukee, I don't know where his sanity would be because we just drove back from Pittsburgh and we stopped.
That's a haul.
Stopped about, I don't know. We stopped for the night in Georgia. We weren't gonna make it.
Oh no. Train.
Oh, there's a train. It's 11:40. I was off by 13 minutes.
That's all good. I was like, in the background.
Oh, yeah. And at night, well, now it's cold. You can hear it. So everybody's going to hear this on the podcast. It's all good.
I love that.
They're going to be looking at it for a train in the car or while they're driving or something
like
in the house.
This is an immersive experience show.
It's very, it's almost like a Disney attraction.
Right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Magic Kingdom. Please enter this way.
Have some popcorn at 6:30 in the morning.
Like, get your popcorn, shut up.
Get your popcorn, and well, we haven't had breakfast. Just take the popcorn.
Right. There's no crying at Disney World.
So you came down, and was this planned, or was it like my parents or my mom? They came down on vacation, and my grandparents were like, "Well, let's just stay here." And they went back. They went back to Ohio and got their stuff, left the kids here with grandma, and came back. My mom was like, "I never got to say bye to my friends."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, so poof, you're a Floridian now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly they've enjoyed it. So, that was a good thing to be here and with you. So.
Well, I don't think it was great for a 13-year-old. My mom at 13, she was.
She was 13.
She was devastated. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize she was at that age.
No, she was. Oh. Yeah, she was she was probably at the age where you kind of sort of cared, like the world is over.
I know. That teenage angst.
Yes.
Which we all suffered from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but we all went through it. But I was like,
we did.
I don't remember it being that bad.
Right. You're like, I wasn't like that.
I was probably over dramatic about everything, but I don't even remember that far back, and I'm glad it's out of my memory now.
Right. I think I tried to block that out after a
right.
while. I go, I know I was a holy terror at times.
So what year was that you came down?
I was in college back up in Milwaukee, and I saw an advertisement in 2004 for the Disney College Program.
Okay.
And it was in our annex, the quad, the main area of our university. And I went, I'm going to this seminar because I've always wanted to work there. Let's see what this is about.
Right.
And I was like, I can get college credit. I can work for Disney, and I've got housing nearby. Okay. So I brought it up to my parents, and I decided, at first I wanted to do the merchandise department. And then I went scrolling down the list, and I went, entertainment. And I was going to school as a theater major. I started as business, and I was miserable. And I went, at that age, I was like, I want to follow my passion. So I switched to being a theater major. And it's what I had done for many, many years. I did a lot of musical shows, blah, blah, blah. And I went, okay, this is more my vibe. This is my speed. Let's try this. So I went home, and I was like, Dad. And he was like, yes, kiddo, what do you want? And I said, I want to do this Disney College Program. And I handed him a flyer, and I said, there's an audition coming up. It's in Chicago, and it's in 3 days. Can we go? And he was like, yes, I'm off that day. Let's go. It's fine. So thank God he was off that day. Yeah. So he drove my happy little rear end to the College of DuPage outside of Chicago. And 10 hours later, I knew I had the job.
Voila. You became a cast member.
And I became a cast member. I was going to say my paperwork was filled out then in January when I moved down here of 2005.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I've been here for a minute.
Yeah. Quite a minute.
Quite a minute.
A long minute.
And I met you shortly after I moved here and started working.
Yes. It wasn't very long after that.
Yep.
My process was a little bit different. I left. I wanted to be a chef.
And this is hilarious.
Yeah, you probably didn't know that. I wouldn't say chef, but culinary. How about that? I'll be a prep cook.
I think nothing wrong with that. Prep work can be tough.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather let me just put the garnish on the side of the plate,
like the parsley on top. Just ta-da.
You got the orange slices.
Great, little zest of orange.
That is a Floridian. That is a navel.
And here we have a Tangelo. Something stupid.
I would even break out a pomelo. Pomelos are great.
I love pomelos.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know what a pomelo is, but
I didn't either until I moved down here, and I was like, tequila goes really good inside. That's how I learned.
Oh my gosh, Celia!
I was like, I love Florida.
We've been 14 minutes in the podcast. We already mentioned alcohol. This is gonna be a great podcast.
This is gonna be a fantastic podcast, Bill.
So my process was my mother and I and my buddy Sean O'Rourke. Shout out to Sean. We were gonna go. We got my mom's van. Fresh out of high school, just graduated. It's June. We were like, we don't even know where to go. We're just like, hey, we're gonna go over there and get a job. Didn't know what to expect. Didn't know if we were gonna get a job. We didn't know anything.
You winged it.
So, do you remember the guard shack behind Magic Kingdom by DU?
Absolutely.
Okay, I was gonna say you should. You were there by then. It's not there anymore, but so we went to the guard shack, and the guy's like, "Yeah, can I help you?" And then we're like, "We want a job."
Did you just roll up and be like,
"Yeah,
job, please"?
We rolled up like Kermit in the Muppet movie, like, "We're here to see the rich and famous contract."
You were moving right along.
Yeah, we were moving around. We didn't have a banjo and a string or a rod on my arm. So, anyways, we go to the guard shack, and we ask the guy, and he's like, "Oh, that's at casting." We're like, "Here's a better word or question. What is casting?"
You're going, "I have another question for you."
So we go to the casting building, and it is like going to Oz.
It is.
It really is. When you walk in, you're like, oh my gosh, the doors are like from Alice in Wonderland.
They really are.
The door handles, yeah.
I love those door handles too. They're so cute.
I do too. So I go in, and my mom and Sean are trailing me because I'm like, I know where I'm going. Yeah.
You took the lead.
I go up the hill, and there's these two signs that says, what job's available. And I'm like you did on the paper. I don't know what to pick. So I saw entertainment, but it said performer. And I'm like, well, I can't dance.
You could try.
I have 2 left feet. So I was like, character attendant. I wonder, that's got to be like, what, entertainment too?
Yep.
Like I'll carry the water bottle for the football team. That's all good. I did in high school.
You're like, I'll be the water boy.
I'll be the water boy again. So I see this character attendant. Or back then we were called greeters.
That's right. Yep, we were greeters back in the day.
Greeter. Entertainment greeter. So I'm like, well, I like to think I'm a people person. So I was like, oh, all right. So the lady comes in there and we go through the interview process, and she's like, so, what do you think a entertainment greeter is? Or a character greeter? I was like, well, basically it's like a bodyguard. And she said, well, not exactly. And she couldn't be more wrong. That I found out later, she couldn't have been any more wrong. 100% wrong. It's exactly how I described it.
You're like, lady, you haven't done this line of work, have you?
No, you are here at casting. How do you know? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, I've always interviewed well. I love interviewing because it's just like this. We're talking.
Yeah, it's a conversation.
Conversation. I love it. So, get the job. Sean gets a job at Grand Fla.
Ooh.
He's at, I want to say Victoria and Albert's, but it's probably like Citricos.
Citricos.
As the prep cook.
Nice.
Actually, yes, prep cook. He did that first. Then he did valet. He said he made more money valet than he did as a prep cook.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. I mean, good for him. Good for valet, but.
So, and then my mom's like, she went over to River Country.
I miss River Country. That's cesspool.
River Country, yes. Didn't need a COVID shot. I went to River Country.
Right. Seriously, I'm immune to everything at this point.
Didn't have malaria. Had it all. One time. First jump in the pool, I got everything.
That was a one and done.
MMR. You name it.
I think I grew another finger, but I'm good.
Like the 3-eyed fish on The Simpsons.
Yeah. Went to River Country.
Oh my gosh. So my mom was in tickets at River Country. So I'm like, okay, so we all got 3 different jobs, and okay, and so we were excited. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Webster Ace Hardware and Farm Supply are generous sponsors for today's podcast. They have been a family-owned business for 27 years. This helpful hardware store sells items such as archery, Ariat clothing and boots, Wrangler jeans, case knives, Hammond's candies, and live fishing wear. They also have a full selection of hardware, RV supply, propane, Ben Moore, Royal & Clark, and Kingston paints. You need a barn or fencing job done? Custom barn kits and roofing metal are provided at your local Ace Hardware store. What about a new grill for the yard? Traeger, Big Green Egg, Weber, and Blackstone are found here, along with all the accessories to go with them. Stock up your workshop with DeWalt, Milwaukee, or Craftsman tools. They got you covered. Remember to go to ace.com to shop their entire line to have items shipped directly to the store. And then, that whole first day.
Oh, yeah.
How was your first day at DU? I always say it's a magical place. It's a magical time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like Twitter-pated with it all. I was so excited to go through traditions. And I remember when they would ask questions and you could get like the little figurines.
Yep.
I made it like a goal to collect as many of them as I could and answer all these questions right.
Like, I will fight you right now for
like,
that Pluto.
I will beat you in here right now. Give me that Donald Duck. This means war. But it was great. I love traditions. And then when Mickey comes out.
Oh, yeah.
I lost it. Totally lost it.
Mickey makes a lot of appearances like throughout. Did you do Disney Day? Or not Disney Days, but we did Disney Days. But there's Once Upon a Time Is Now. Did you do that?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yep. I remember that too. God, that goes back.
Yeah. I don't think they do any of that anymore. Besides
I'm
traditions.
not sure. I was going to say, I know they just do trad, but I don't know of anything else.
So you went through all that and you did your training for your specific role.
Oh, yes. Well, I did my character course, so I got to learn how to be friends with a lot of fun people and
interesting people.
Help bring the Disney entertainment world to life, which was wonderful.
Absolutely.
It was a crazy fun experience I did for 8.5 years.
Yeah.
I gave 8.5 years of my life to that department, which I
your
loved.
Ankles and your knees.
And my knees, I have the
shoulders.
arthritis to prove it. Oh my God, like everything just cracks all the time. I wake up in the morning and I crack my neck. My fiance looks at me like, "Are you okay?" I was like, I think
there's something wrong with you.
I was like, "Babe, I'm just busted. It's fine. It's okay." But But it was great, but man, did it take a physical toll. And I'm sure it did for you too, even as an attendant, because you were running around after all of us and you're trying to keep everybody in line. And
let me tell you,
you were intense.
Without getting too descriptive, my feet are horrible.
Oh, I'm sure.
From wearing black shoes on asphalt.
Oh, I am sure. It's like they melt into it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's how it feels. That I'm like, black shoes, really?
Yeah, like you couldn't.
This pavement is 150 degrees right now.
Like you knew when the shoes would go like.
Yeah, or when you stopped to answer a question, and you went.
Mm-hmm, you're like, and I'm stuck now. Yep. There was one time during a parade, we had to wear tennis shoes. It was a parade at the studios. It was Block Party Bash, and there was one time my shoe ripped completely out, and the bottom of it was almost melted onto Hollywood Boulevard, and I'm going. This is not my idea of a good time, and I can't really walk and wave right now because we're at a show stop. So this is going to be really interesting. I did that all the time.
Let me tell you about Block Party. I don't know how it must have been because I can't imagine what it was like being in Block Party, but watching it was like.
It was like being so overstimulated. Like, what do I look at?
There was so much going on.
Oh, yeah. It was nuts.
It was like a riot going on. You're like,
yep.
And then I'm trying to take pictures.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like.
And we're all a blur.
Yeah, and you're like, you're like, okay, I got to come back to get you because this person, I was so focused on that person that. When is the next time you work that shit?
And me, I was like, I'm here like 6 days a week. I'm cast 4, but I'm here at least 6.
Oh, man, those were the days, though.
Yeah, they really were. I always say that was definitely some of the golden years. That was just some of the best time of my life thus far.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, when I started, it was a different world.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to sound like I'm 65 or 85.
Well, we're older, but I get that. I get that sentiment.
But not like back in my day.
Back in the day.
As I'm knitting in a rocker, like,
right.
in my day.
I feel like that's me. I crochet at home.
I'm whittling over here, and you're. I'm like, oh my gosh, the Pepperidge Farm guy or the Bartles and James guy. Right. Which one are you, Bartles and James? But I remember. I've told this story 1,000 times to different people, especially people that didn't work at Disney. But I'm fresh out of training, and we come up the rabbit hole by Teacups.
Oh boy!
And we're going to Toontown to catch the bus or something. I don't remember.
Oh, Toontown.
And there is an attendant, Elaine Vincent. Mm-hmm. God rest. Like, I don't know if she's. God bless her or God rest her soul. I don't know if she's gone or if she's still here. But she was quite. She was a little bit older than us, and but she was awesome.
I remember Elaine. She really was.
She's about the size of a toothpick.
Oh yeah, she's teeny tiny.
And she had Goofy walking back to the Toontown gate. Mm-hmm. That big.
Oh yeah, the big gate at the end.
The Land of Oz gate.
Yep.
Yeah. People are following, and she did everything but have a handgun. Like, get back! Get back, everybody!
I can see that. I can picture this in my brain, and I've heard her do that.
And I'm like,
you go, oh crap! What I get myself into now?
That's exactly what I thought. I go, this is gonna be my job.
You get back.
I said, she had everything but a Glock in her hand.
Right. Just start like hissing at people.
Yeah. Get back. So
even then, people will take your picture.
Yeah, exactly. Now they got cell phones, but back then,
oh yeah,
it was like the Wild West.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, having said that, I thought maybe it's just something that I've got to get accustomed to. You know, maybe this is not what I'll be doing. And I remember during traditions, there was a lady named Doris, and for those of you who don't know anything about Disney, everybody's first name basis, unless you have a name like Joanne Bogart.
Yes.
And so I don't know any other Celias. So
yeah, I don't know if any others who have been in the department, if they have.
No, I
never met them.
I have no idea. There's this, like, I think I met a Sierra. That's as close as it gets. Or a Sheila. That's about it. But I'm trying to think of where I was going with this. Doris. Doris says, I said, Doris, where are you? You know, just kind of ask, where are you going? Because we were all together, and not everybody was going to Magic Kingdom. They were going to different parks, and she had kind of a little bit of a lisp, and she's like, well, I'm going to Epcot. And I'm like, well, have fun there because it sucks. You know, because I wanted to be where the action was. I'm 18 years old. Put me on the front line.
Right. And you're like, throw me in, coach.
Yeah, Epcot was the retirement home.
It really was.
It really was.
I loved having.
But I ended up loving Epcot.
Oh, of course. Isn't that where I think I met you at Epcot at DCOH.
Yes.
Disney characters on holiday.
Oh, yeah. Hey there, hi there, ho there.
Oh God, I still hear that song in my sleep.
I would take a bow every time. And it wasn't about me. I'm like, I'll take a bow, and then Amy Venetia's like, Billy, you didn't bow. I'm like, I'm good.
And you go,
I do it.
I'm out loud now.
We have 7 sets a day. Come on.
Right.
I mean, if I miss one, it's okay. They don't know.
Exactly. You were too busy singing next to the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember you singing next to the double-decker bus, and my first shift ever, you were there. Well, my first DCOH shift. And I was like, who is this dude? You were like screaming and clapping next to this double-decker red bus. And I was like, he's going to keep me alive today because I am so tired, and he's got that energy, and I loved it. You were great.
That is natural, by the way.
Of course it is. That is with you. I know this now. I'm like, it's just Billy.
Yeah, it is natural. People go, is he on medication or something? I'm like, no. That's just me. That's the way it is. I do remember that. Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
Yeah, the bus is great.
I miss that bus.
But for those of you listening, Epcot was, like I said, when I got to Epcot in 2002, like I said, it was a retirement home. It was very laid back,
Oh, yeah.
Of course, there's alcohol for people to drink.
Of
so
course.
they're not as crazy. Like, they're like, Mickey! Like, oh my God!
As I said, you're like, what's up, Mickey? And you got your margarita in your hand.
Yeah, you're like, we're going over to Mexico. You want to come with us?
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
do.
and Mickey's like,
I wish.
What?
Like,
So, so Magic Kingdom was a wake-up experience. It was one of my favorite shifts that I ever did was, one of my favorite shifts that I used to do was before 9/11 was as I was at Splash. And we got to ride.
Oh, yeah.
We got to ride the ride.
See, that's cool.
But it wasn't the Splash Mountain characters. No, folks. It was the Country Bears.
Oh, my God.
Liver Lips and Wendell. Oh,
you understand how much I love Wendell?
Big Al wasn't there. Big Al was not there. But
I love Big Al.
Wendell and Liver Lips.
I am obsessed with Wendell. He just, bless him and his face. It makes me lose my mind every time I see Wendell. He's my favorite country bear.
We did the 100 years press conference. The 100 years Walt's 100th birthday or whatever. And we did a press event. And I remember having the country bears. They're like it was like the bread line. Mm-hmm. You had characters and attendants or greeters, and they're like, "All right, you go with him. You go with him." So like Billy, country bears. I'm like, "Oh man,
there you go.
These freaking bears.
You're with the bears.
They look crazy as hell. Like
then they are.
Yeah,
but they're a good time.
Little did I know how much of a good time I was going to have. So
you put the country bears together, it's always a great time.
So they had some kind of they were getting ready to throw this confetti, like it was like gold confetti, and then everybody threw it up in the air, and I think they took a picture or whatever on down Main Street, and I took a handful, and I went up to Liver Lips, I think.
Oh no!
And threw it right in his face, and
that's awesome.
And it made the loudest sound, bam. And I feel
That's
like
awesome.
everybody stopped. Like,
it was like,
and of course, Liver Lips is like, he was like, "Hey, everybody,
welcome to Magic Kingdom, confetti."
Hold down, let's go.
Oh God, that's awesome.
One of the things on there.
The crazy things we used to do.
We used to ride rides with the characters, like I said with Splash. But if I was with Alice, we went and rode the teacups. Mickey and Minnie went on Dumbo at Rope Drop, and that was the old Dumbo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when it was just the one and now not the two.
Mm-hmm. Just a single behind where they have that famous picture of them.
Yep.
With a castle in the background. CY Western Company is located in Bushnell, Florida. It's a great place for boots, clothing, gifts, and accessories for the whole family. They are a family-owned and operated business that opened in 2008. They offer free gift bagging and layaway services, and also a 10% discount for 4-H and FFA members with proof of membership. Be sure to like them on Facebook, where customers can stay updated on sales and giveaways. You can find them next to Lowry's True Value Hardware in Bushnell, open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturdays, 9 to 5. Be sure to check out CY Western Company.
I mean, I even remember going on rides with some of the characters and stuff too, and then it just stopped, and it was so much fun and just magical. It was a completely different kind of experience.
Oh yeah.
So I feel it's a lot more just in a hurry to get pictures, and everyone has a checklist now when they go to the parks.
Yeah, it's more structured.
It is a lot more structured now. That's a good way to put it.
But let me ask you this: when you would go to Magic Kingdom, left or right, coming out of Main Street?
Ooh, like which way I would go?
Yeah, Jungle Cruise, or you going Tomorrowland side?
See, I was the one, it depended on what mood I was in, but half the time I wanted a snack, so I went to the left and got a Dole Whip.
There you go.
So there we
You followed your heart and your gut.
I did, and I was like, I want that. Dole Whip time. Let's go to Adventureland.
Yeah, we would always go left, and because this makes sense. This is why you can't. It's Jungle Cruise is not the same at night.
No, it's not.
During the day, it's awesome. Mm-hmm. At night, you're like, okay. You're like riding around in the dark.
Yep, we go.
You know, I mean, some
It's
things
spooky right now.
Yeah, some things are lit, but you're like, okay.
If you have a good guide, then it's fun.
Yeah. But that's
skipper, I should say.
But back then, when they used to actually shoot the gun.
Oh my God, that's right. Can't do that now.
Yeah, no.
Nah.
There's a video of it's Disneyland's 35th anniversary. This is in the 80s.
I was gonna say that goes back.
It was 1985. Tony Danza's the host, you know. So that's Who's the Boss days, you know.
That's awesome.
And it's on YouTube. You have to look it up. And they do. He goes on the Jungle Cruise, and it is one of the funniest things. And who was the skipper on the boat? The guy who does Roger Rabbit's voice.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he's like,
okay, I gotta look that up.
So you can hear it. You can hear it while he's talking, but he's like, over there is a tiger, and you know wherever they are. I think that's Asia or whatever. He's like, there's a tiger from Malaysia or whatever, and he's like, they can jump 20 feet, but don't worry, folks, he'll just jump right over the boat. I'm not worried at all.
You're like, I'm not worried. He'll clear us.
Yeah. And
I love their cheesy jokes.
Another part is he's the natives attack the boat, and he's actually using the gun.
That's insane.
He goes, that'll teach them.
Can't do that now.
No.
Oh my God.
But it's so funny.
I'd be like, clutch my pearls, go, oh my God.
He's like,
that's crazy.
He tells the guy, he goes, hey, you know, the crocodiles, Ginger and Snap.
Yep.
Or Ginger and whatever.
I thought it was Ginger and Snap.
Well, I say that, but then they say, watch out for Ginger, she snaps. Or something like that. So it's, and it might be, but I know one of them was Ginger. But he tells the guy, and he's got like this New York voice. He's like, yeah, reach out of the boat and give her a little pet on the schnozzula.
I can hear Tony saying that too.
No, it was it was
the other guy,
Roger Rabbit guy.
Oh God,
and I can't think of his name. And
I can't either.
He goes, yeah, give him a little
give him a little pet on
the schnozzula. And he does, and the guy falls out of the boat, and then all of a sudden there's a crocodile. It looks like it ate him.
Oh, that's funny.
We're gonna watch it before you leave.
Oh, we're watching this. We are watching this.
It's one of my favorite things.
I'm not going home yet. I gotta watch this.
I know.
Whether your water is supplied by a public municipality or a private well, for residential or commercial use, Purified Water Services LLC has the solutions to provide you with simply clean water. We offer a complete line of professional water filtration equipment and accessories. Soft water makes a difference you can see and feel. Water heater and appliances last longer with less maintenance. Iron and H2S filters eliminate iron stains and offensive rotten egg odors and protects your water softener equipment from iron fouling. No matter what your problem is, Purified Water Services LLC has a solution. Contact Kenny Williams at 352-446-2709.
I love that.
Well, I could talk all day about Disney.
Me too.
Just things that we've done and things that you can't do anymore.
Exactly. I mean, it's good to reminisce a bit and remember those happy moments and things and stuff we experienced as kids and while we were there as cast members, you know.
I was at Mickey VIP with which is the Mickey Floral. Mm-hmm. I was there with 5 VIPs by myself. You talk about heartburn.
To be with you, yeah. After that day, you're like, I am white.
I was over in the corner questioning life.
Right? You're like rocking back and forth. I don't know if I can do this.
How much kittens?
There were days I did that too.
And I didn't have a kitten. But I had Pluto. I had Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Goofy, and Donald.
I love that. That's the Fab Five.
Yes, the Fab Five. Mm-hmm. At Mickey Floral. What are you doing? Who made that a shift?
Someone who was not thinking.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, so why would you put them all in that one spot? Like,
for those of you who don't know, Mickey Floral is at the front of the park. It's the first thing you see as you're coming in, you're scanning your armband, and there's that famous Mickey floral thing that's collage that's in front, and
It's just that
the train
one
station's
spot.
above it. It's a very iconic. Disneyland has one. I think they all have it.
I think they do.
But imagine walking into the front of the park and there's 5 VIPs, and you're by yourself.
Yeah. And everyone's going to be screaming and yelling, especially when you have 5 minutes until they have to go take a cheese break or something.
There was no cutting lines at all. It was.
It's like
We gotta go.
At that point, you just got to run for it. You just need to bolt.
It's like, oh look, Godzilla, and then run.
So you have the other direction.
Oh look, Bunk Cake.
I can't lie, I've totally done that a few times back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Because it just gets so chaotic.
Yeah.
And especially if people are screaming and yelling, you just got to walk. You just got to go.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just got to go.
You know, we met at Epcot. One of the coolest things about Epcot is obviously the holidays. Well, some would say drinking around the world.
They go hand in hand.
Which is a goal for most 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
Is I turned 21, I'm going to Epcot. And I'm going to try to make it to Mexico or Canada, vice versa.
Right.
There's another thing. When you go to Epcot, which way do you go?
I always start in Mexico. Because I like margaritas. So
well, there you
if
go.
I intend to have a cocktail, which I typically do when I go to Epcot because they're so good,
Yeah.
I will start in Mexico.
Right. What's one of your favorite things about... Let's just start with Magic Kingdom. What's a favorite thing in Magic Kingdom you like?
Oh, gosh. Honestly, the nostalgia of it all.
Yeah.
It was my favorite growing up. It was the park that I had the most memories at, I think, with my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
Especially now that my dad is gone.
Right.
Since he passed almost,
Right.
it'll be 2 years ago and, God, a few weeks.
Wow, already? 2 years?
Already.
Wow.
The time went by like that.
Yes, it does. Time is a thief, they say.
Time is a thief.
Right.
But I'm so happy. I have so many memories there, and I will never forget the times that I was on my dad's shoulders,
Yeah.
watching the fireworks or the parade,
Yeah.
or even in my stroller as a little kid. I remember Chip and Dale bending down to give me a hug and a kiss and stuff, and sharing popcorn with my dad, or going on, the teacups with him, or holding my mom's hand down Main Street. I mean,
Right.
it's those little things that I held in my heart and in my mind for so many years, and I
Right.
did for as long as I worked for Disney as well. So anytime I walk through those gates at Magic Kingdom,
Right.
it all those wonderful
Instant
memories.
nostalgia.
Instant nostalgia. It all comes flooding back in the best way.
And popcorn smells.
And I'm a popcorn junkie. I'm a popcorn freak. I love popcorn.
You use all those popcorn tickets, didn't you? You're like, I need 4 of those. You're like, but you're by yourself. You're like, exactly.
And you go, yeah,
Yeah.
duh.
What of it?
Give me my popcorn. God, I love Magic Kingdom popcorn.
Yeah.
So good.
When we were in Pittsburgh, they had the holiday lights at the Pittsburgh Zoo. The zoo was
fun.
closed because it was at night. But you got to drive through the park, and they had the actual zoo. You're driving in your car.
That's cool.
It was cool, super cool. And then they had animals lit up.
Oh, neat.
So you could, I don't think we really, because you couldn't get out of your car. Mm-hmm. Although the lady in front of us got out twice. I'm just saying.
You go, she broke the rules.
She broke. I'm like, she's not in
excuse
the car.
We have a runner.
She got out of her car twice. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. But you got to drive through the park, and they had all these. They had penguins, and they had They had a cheetah that ran. It was in lights. It was cool. So cool.
That's a lot of work to put that together too.
It is, but that's something that you could. I mean, I know we're not near Pittsburgh, but it's something that you can say, "Hey, we drove through that zoo. We drove through it, though. It's not like, oh, I just walked. I drove through it.
Like I drove through a zoo and I saw Christmas lights.
And I saw Christmas lights.
It was wonderful.
And had a ballpark front.
Best day ever.
That's my best Tracy Morgan impression.
I love that. That was good.
Got some ballpark fronts. Yeah.
You've got the face right too.
Yeah. Thank you.
You can take a bow.
Yeah, I take a DCOH
now you take that DCOH bow.
Having said that about the driving through the park, I was reminded while I was there, of doing a rehearsal one night at Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. And it was for
Cinderella Surprise Celebration.
Oh, CSC.
Oh, yeah.
My God, that goes back.
Oh, yeah. Show my age there.
Hey, it was still going on when I first got hired, and then
It's going to go on for like 8 years, and then they can it.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I had Disney Mania going in. Oh. And that was the longest running show that they had on property at the time. Mm-hmm. Live action. I'm not trying to take anything away from. I'm going to have somebody text me and say, Carousel Progress is the. No, it's not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about live action. In the park. Yeah, it was Disney Mania. I love Disney Mania. That was my show.
That was a really good show.
And I caught at the very end. I have a video of. I made like a end of the show video that they played at the party. You know, the end of the party. And I did there were some bloopers in there.
I love a good blooper reel.
So one of them is Sebastian falling down the steps. Shout out to Sebastian.
But he was real crabby after that one.
Brunch. He didn't like fall off the steps. He was like
he crab walked. He was something weird.
He was more like crip walking. So he crab walked down these steps. Another one was they remember they used to let the birds go?
Yes.
Okay, the white pigeons.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Or doves.
Pigeons,
white pigeons, albino pigeons.
Disney
folks.
Pigeons.
Sorry to ruin the magic. They let this pigeon go, and the house lights weren't on, so it's pitch black. It was Colors of the Wind. This girl chunks this bird out, and where does the bird go? Right back on the stage. Because it doesn't want to fly in the dark. It can't see.
It's like, where do you think I'm gonna go?
So the bird's just strutting across.
It's like, I'm a paint all the color of it.
Doing the pitching, Yeah, good times.
Oh, I used to love when crazy things like that would happen.
But going back to CSC, we're doing the rehearsals for that. And guys, when you're doing a rehearsal, you got to be in the park late or early when there's obviously nobody there. Overnight rehearsals. Mm-hmm. And people are going to be like, well, I was a greeter at the show. Well, we were going to get trained in pyro.
Oh.
And they ended up not doing that. But they're like, oh, well, they're already scheduled. Just show up. I'm like, I'd rather be home sleeping.
Right. You're like, I could be in bed right now.
I'm asleep
and
on the bench
here.
out in front of the castle, just like, yeah.
You're like, I'm just going to lay right here.
So I look over, and across Liberty Bridge is an SUV, and it's not a Disney SUV. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And there was a security guard sitting next to me. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. That doesn't look like that doesn't look like an official, one of our guys. Mm-hmm.
That's not a company vehicle.
And he's like, yeah, Jerry, are you still at the booth? I guess the guy had fallen asleep. And his family drove through the park, and they're just
holy crap!
They're just driving around like they're on parade route, like, oh wow, Dad!
And they thought that was perfectly normal.
They're like, oh my gosh, oh yeah.
Who the hell does that?
That guy jumped to his feet and ran.
Yeah. I'd be like, get your workout in now, buddy.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy stuff.
You know what that is? That's limited time magic.
They got those tickets on iDrive.
Got them on iDrive.
Kissimmee.
A drawn map with a crayon back there.
It's one of those $79 tickets.
Cheap tickets.
That we passed 14 billion billboard signs coming in on 75, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure. Those are everywhere.
Yeah.
Catfish Johnny's Restaurant, serving the Lake Pennsauken and surrounding areas since 1990. For the last 33 years, we have strived to serve great food at great prices and a friendly, casual atmosphere. If seafood isn't your thing, our burgers or wings are the best around. We have daily specials too. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram for more information. Pat's Taps at Catfish Johnny's. Pat's Taps is Lake Penosofsky's newest tap room, offering 14 rotating craft beers on tap. We also offer bottled domestic beers, seltzers, ciders, and wine, as well as a variety of appetizers and pub. Our family-friendly tap room is a great place to come hang out and enjoy some one-of-a-kind craft beer. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or the Untapped app.
Like cheap tickets, I think $89 for a Disney ticket. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. When was that used? In 95?
Right? You're like, double that now. Good grief.
So, you said the nostalgia and stuff. There's a funny story about my parents told me this story how they were going to take us to the park one day, and we were not behaving very well.
Shame on you.
And you know, we live an hour away or something. Mm-hmm. And so my dad's like, you know what? That's it. We hadn't even gotten to the park yet. We turned around and went home. Oh yeah.
You were that bad. You made your dad that mad.
I guess. And my dad said, well, it was either that or the kennel.
One of two options here.
I said, I would have rather, I don't know about that.
You're going,
how big are the stalls?
Right, you weigh out your options. Okay, you go, what would have been better?
I'm like, do I get lunch at least?
Right? Do I get a meal?
Free lunch?
God. Oh. See, my parents couldn't say that. I mean, it would be back to the hotel because we would always just fly here, and a few times we drove, but...
Oh, my God, I can't imagine driving.
Oh, sometimes it was really fun, though, because we would stop a day or two in the mountains on the way down, and it was gorgeous.
If you break it up, it's one thing. You break it up, and you got time to
Oh, yeah, we never
relax
just, plowed right through.
Yeah, no, I used to do that. I would go to Pittsburgh when I was... I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. I'd go see some friends of mine that I met at Disney, and I go hang out with them and visit them. And they, I was like, I'm not gonna stop for the night. I'm just gonna keep going. And I mean, I did it a few times.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it now, but
you're like, I'd be way too tired. I'm tired after driving for a few hours. I'm like, nope, I'll stop at one of the little travel plazas.
Yeah,
and
I need a Celsius is what I need.
Right?
Yeah.
I need something to keep me going
Those
here.
are great, by the way.
Man, they are so good. I love those.
Did you, we talked about Magic Kingdom. Epcot, what's one of your favorite things about Epcot?
Oh, one of my favorite things about Epcot, well, now... would you like my favorite now or when I was working there?
Probably working there.
Oh, when I was working there, I liked that it was a lot more relaxed. It really was. Yeah. Where if I, being in entertainment, a shift at Magic Kingdom is a lot more chaotic. It really, truly is. It's a small park,
right?
A million more characters and entertainment offerings and things. Epcot things are a lot more spaced out. I felt like I could breathe there a little more.
Right.
I loved working at the Kingdom, but at Epcot, I was like you said, it's like the retirement home. I'm like, I have an easy day today. Hopefully people won't piss me off too bad. Right. Hopefully my, everything I'm wearing will be okay. And it's going to be a good day.
For me, it's three things. Lunch in Japan at the Yakitori House.
Oh my God, those beef bowls.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Norway breakfast.
Chaotic, but fun.
And Sunday morning acoustics on 98.9
WMMO. Shout out to WMMO. We love you.
You come in on Sunday, you're like, oh, wow.
And you're like, this is good.
I've never heard my lady humps in a acoustic.
Yep.
As I enter the Pico building.
Right? And you're just like, just bopping a little bit to these acoustics.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
For those of you who don't know, they would play music backstage, and at Magic Kingdom, it was WKMK, the voice of the kingdom. Which I had a little promo for that. I said, WKMK, we ruin every great song.
Yeah.
Because you would be jamming out to, I don't know, Tiny Dancer or something you like, something just get you like, yeah. You're just chilling in the tunnel. You're like, yeah, baby. And then all of a sudden, we were, WKMK. I'm like, oh my God.
And you're like,
couldn't you wait 2 more minutes? It was getting to the best part.
You go, man.
Yeah, it's like the buildup of Phil Collins for in the Air Tonight, and you skip the drum solo. You're like,
and you go, you left me hanging here.
Thanks a lot, WKMK.
jerks.
The voice of the kingdom.
You could do that.
I love that.
It was great. I love that too. I miss that.
I do miss that. What's something else you miss?
I miss being able to be with so many of my friends who are I now consider family, and like working with you and so many other people, because it didn't matter if you came to work in the best mood or the worst mood. If you were surrounded by that core group of people, it was going to be a good day.
Right.
Something was going to make it a million times better. And I really, really miss that camaraderie. Because for now, obviously, I'm not in that world very much anymore.
Right.
So it's a very different work experience for me. So thinking back on that, I miss everybody. And of course, I still keep in touch with them all, but it's not the same. It's not like clocking in, going to do a parade together or a show or something. It's very different now because we've all grown and evolved a lot.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Same thing for me is I miss everybody. And I love keeping in touch, checking out on Facebook.
Yeah, me too.
Just seeing how people are doing.
Absolutely.
Their lives. Because I miss that. And, I talk a lot about the parks and Orlando a lot. And I tell Nicole all the time, like, that was half my life. I spent half my life over there.
Yeah. That was a huge chunk of your existence.
Yes. So it's very dear to me, the people especially.
Yeah.
And the people are the only reason why I stayed as long. Because after a while, the job gets to you.
It does. It wears you down a bit.
The wear and tear of everyday theme park life. That is definitely a young person's game.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that you can't work it, but it is definitely someone who is 18, raring to go. I used to work 2 to 12 every day for. I did my first summer. I worked 7 days a week.
I believe
on
that.
purpose.
Oh yeah, you're like, no, I'll still do it. I'll come in.
Yeah.
I mean, that way you're like, give me that overtime. That's cool.
Yeah.
Or I don't care. I'll just work.
Yeah, and then I got then finally my body caught up with me. It was like 3 months later. I got sick.
Oh.
And I was like, I gotta tone this down a little bit. I can't work 7 days a week, but I loved it.
Yep, your body gets to the point where it's like, I need to shut down for a little while and recharge.
You need to take a break. You need to go on a vacation or something.
Because it gets to you even mentally.
Right. Just take a day off. Something.
You need to disconnect from that aspect of life.
Yeah.
You really do.
Like I said, it was the people that made me stay. And I got Celia, there's thousands of people that we know. You know
thousands.
What I mean? And people think you're embellishing a little bit. No, we're really not. There are thousands of people that we know.
Absolutely. And not even just from our own department. We got to know so many other people.
Right.
So even like working in the restaurants and stuff too, or
oh my gosh, yeah.
Even security, custodial, everybody.
Yeah. It's funny because, when a lot of people don't really understand how that works, but you do work hand in hand. I mean, like when I was in Toontown, we had a great relationship with ops.
Oh, absolutely.
And because they were the ones who moved our people.
Yep.
Without them, we don't have people, and we don't have us.
Exactly. Keep those queue lines going. Everybody happy, healthy there, and we were a fairly well-oiled machine.
Yeah. Duto Realty is a homegrown business with an eye for getting the job done right. From football games to Sunday school and everything in between, these ladies care about our community and the people in it. Helping buyers and sellers in all of Florida with all types of transactions, including residential, commercial, farm, or vacant land. They do it all. They even offer auction services and sellouts to always get the job done right. And I always say I would definitely do it over again. Definitely, without hesitation. Do it all over again. And I don't know if I really would make the same decisions, but I think I would have to.
Same.
But I think I would be. But I think that's what made us. Because you need to find out who you are.
Oh, absolutely. The choices we made just paved the road for everything ahead. It really did.
Yeah.
And it opened the doors for us to do so much more and to get to know so many other people.
Oh, yeah.
And create those memories and just those core memories.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I signed up to get driver trained. Oh, my gosh. I was like, please. Because I had done that before. Yeah, right. I had done that before. And it was it was right when Javier passed. And so that kind of just changed everything.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to go and do all the safety precautions and stuff. And so it took a while. And then I kind of was like in and out of Disney. I was still seasonal, and I went and got a big boy job. Mm-hmm. But hated it. Like,
oh yeah, when you step out after living that life for so long, it's like you're miserable for a while.
I'm asking my boss, can I get an ER? And they're like, what?
Like, you need to go to the hospital? No.
Yeah, what's wrong? You hurt?
No, an early release. I need an ER.
Can I get a George Clooney? That's what I would always ask. Can I get a George Clooney? They're like, get out of here.
I love that.
But it's one of those things, and you learn, like I said, you learn, what to do, what not to do.
Absolutely.
Like the whole matrix system about calling in.
That thing was a pain in the neck.
Do you know now that they don't have to talk to anybody? They just like text it. Like it's like they don't even talk to anybody.
Are you serious?
Yes.
It used to make me so nervous if I had the flu and I had to call. And I was like,
I was letting them down.
I know. I was like, I remember calling the base and I'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't come in. And sometimes it would be the duty manager that would answer. And depending on who that was, sometimes I was like, or they're like, why can't you come in? Can't you have a cough drop? I remember hearing that once and I was like,
can't you have a cough drop?
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to throw up on the phone.
If I have the flu? Yeah, put me around the food.
Yeah. But yeah, put me around food and children right now while I'm sick. No, I'm not coming in.
I mean, I've had my share of call-ins, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And, I think we all have.
Yeah. But I remember one time, do you remember Sandy that was Sandy? I can't think of her last name. Again, we're all...
Mm-hmm. Probably if I saw her.
Had glasses, bass.
Yes. Okay. I remember
Sandy, I always called her Sandy at shows because we were shooting show base.
Yep.
So I called one time and I was like, Sandy, I'm really sorry I can't make it. She's like, okay. And I'm like, oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. I'm so sorry.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
We have spares. You're good. I'm like,
that's good then.
Okay. Like, yeah. It was just different, you know?
A totally different world.
For like 4 years, I didn't take any sick time, like your sick bank. I kept letting it like fill up.
Yeah, you kept
I didn't know how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to use it. So I'm over at Epcot, and I don't remember. Do you remember Kevin Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Kevin Kelly. Kevin is like, well, you can just fill out sick time, and it can be used as, you're like kind of like vacation, but in a personal way. And I was a spare, and I'd go check in, and they're like, no, we don't need you. So instead of just sitting around waiting for someone to shift release,
right?
Because how that happens all the time.
Yep.
The first when somebody walks in and goes, "Do we have any spares?" You know exactly what they're going to do.
Yep. And you're like, damn it.
You're like, but I don't want to go to Crystal Palace.
I was just gonna say that. I'm
You're
like,
doing that.
I was like, I
don't know the rotation.
Hip hip hooray for the holding the sign.
Take your napkin. Yeah.
Or like a Chef Mickey's clean your napkin time. Yeah. I don't even know if they do that anymore.
Eggs and stuff like that can't be COVID safe.
Like we don't do that anymore.
Oh, the pre-COVID days, I'll tell you.
They were a hot mess, but fun.
But fun, yes. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm probably gonna throw you off with this. I never went to PI.
You never went to Pleasure Island?
I never went to PI.
Stop.
I'm dead serious.
Oh my God.
Never been. First of all, I wasn't old enough when I first started, and second, I'm not a club person.
I was gonna say that's true.
But then I knew they had a comedy club, but I was just like.
I went to the Comedy Warehouse a few times because they would have like their early shows and then the late ones where it was 21 and up. And at the time I was underage.
If I'd have known that, I probably would have done it. But because
they were fun.
I've got this drive, I don't know if y'all know this, but I live a little ways away.
little distance.
I'm gonna need
Just a
gas money.
You're like, Billy needs gas money here.
They're all like, hey, you want to come out? You want to go do dinner or something after work? And I'm like, do y'all have gas money?
We're like, I need gas money. You know how far I have to go to get home?
Or can y'all go to 50 or Colonial? That's at least on my way.
Exactly. You're like, it's a little up there. It's a little further north. I can get home at a decent time.
You're like, Winter Garden, please. Anybody for Winter Garden? That was before Four Rivers.
Four Rivers.
Yeah.
I don't barbecue today.
Yeah, I barbecue. I was going to tell you, and the other thing was, I've never been to PI, and I've never been to Hoop De Doo.
Okay, well, we're going to fix that.
I know, but
we're fixing that.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'll take Nicole.
I was just going to say Nicole will come. It'll be great.
She should.
I'll drag Nick. It'll be great.
There you go.
Yep.
We'll double.
We're going to eat our weight in ribs and fried chicken, and I'm going to be happy.
No,
love it.
Now, I did do, because I worked it, I did do backyard barbecue.
I miss backyard barbecue. That was such a great offering and show. And the food was so good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
You know, I asked the manager one time, I was like, how many's on the docket tonight? He's like, about 500. I'm like, okay, because you know numbers, whatever. And seating outdoor, 500 people is not, it's not that much.
And it was like those long picnic tables too, so.
He goes, so I said, how much is it to be here? 'Cause I'd never ate there or been there. He goes, it's $50. And I was like, okay. And I was like, kids, $50.
Everybody's $50 across.
I mean, $50.
$50 across the board here.
Just 50. So I was like, oh, okay.
You go,
best part was after it, they fed us.
I love that. Ooh, give me the mac and cheese and the ribs.
Yeah, the ribs were great.
Oh, I love the ribs.
I think I took 4 hamburgers home that night.
Just like, we can stuff them in your pocket.
I look like Great Bambino, Great Hambino from Sandlot.
Yep.
4th of July.
Yep.
Yep.
Grab.
Yeah. And I need chip.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Well, it was so good. And I love when they used to feed us too. That was so nice because we were all exhausted afterwards. You know.
Well, a lot of people don't understand, or they don't realize, and they won't know. But if you were at a location, and they had extra stuff, they used to. I don't think they do it anymore.
I don't think they do anymore, but they used to way back in the day.
But they used to feed you, and that was one of my favorites. They're like, "Do y'all like a plate?" And I'm like, "Can I say yes?"
That.
Yeah.
You're like, can I please?
Norway would do that sometimes for breakfast.
Sometimes.
If Sam was there. Remember Sam? The
yes.
She was a sweetheart.
They bring back a bunch of pastries into the break room.
Yes. And we also had the drinks galore.
Oh,
the pitchers. I'm like, all right, what do y'all want? Can we get some fruit punch? I'm like,
my fruit punch, orange soda.
Yeah. You know how much sugar's in that?
You go, yes. I gotta be nice to all these kids. I need to keep up with them.
Speaking of Norway, this is something I'll never forget. I see a 4-top, and there's 3 people at it, but there's a 4th plate with food on it. So I'm like, okay, maybe somebody went to the bathroom or something. A couple minutes pass, nobody comes back. All of a sudden, I see this little hand come out from underneath the.
Was the kid under the table?
The kid was under the table eating, just scared to death of the princesses.
That's hilarious.
But
they're terrifying.
But I'm like looking at it.
You go, what in the Sand Hill? Where did you come from? How long you been down there?
I also saw a guy at Norway open a fanny pack and bring his own seasoning.
It was like, just bust out some Danos or something.
He had some Tonys.
Okay.
Some Tonys or some Lowrys.
Oh my God.
Which I don't blame him. I would probably want to do that too. Sometimes it's a little bland, but.
Sometimes it can be.
But and I'm thinking.
He's just going to town.
What is this guy doing? But I was like, but now I'm like, all right. I see how it is.
I respect that.
Mad respect, bro.
Mad respect for that. Seasoned salt. I cook with it all the time, but I have to be careful. I make my own, but.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. You have to make some for me.
Okay.
It's probably not hard. You're probably just like.
I was like, yeah, okay, I can do that.
Nicole's mother has a restaurant.
Oh,
And
cool.
they do catfish. It's called Catfish Johnny's.
Oh.
And they have seafood. They have burgers, wings. And it's really good. But somebody asked her mom one day, "This is some great tartar sauce. What do y'all do? How do you make it?" She's like, "It's just relish and mayonnaise."
That's all it is. Like, that's all it is.
But
I mean, sometimes like a little lemon in it or whatever, or garlic.
I don't. She might throw something else in there, but she's just like looking at her like.
Otherwise, it's just that.
So when I said that, that's exactly what I thought of. I'm like, oh god, she's probably like, Billy, it's not that hard.
Like, it's really.
I mean,
easy.
I didn't know if it was like, like Panera Bread or something like that. Or this
Swanky
place.
It's a very swanky place.
You're like, Billy, they have a drive-through.
Like.
Thanks for watching part 1 of this 2-part podcast. Check out full episodes on YouTube and Spotify.